Now, as you can see, if we take a look at the angle of pupil and times it by the intensity of stare, this brother is, quote, starving. I can't believe you do this after everything I've done for you. Hey, babe, I swear it's not like that. I wasn't looking. She just had a nice necklace on. You're never coming back into this household. Look, me, I swear, I was just confirming that she doesn't compare to you at all, even in the chest area. Yo guys, it is your boy Niran here, and you are watching FTW. This of course is the series where it brings you the best and more frequently the worst of what football has to offer during the last 7 days. But what's been kicking off in the world this week? I mean, a fairly decent amount, if we're honest. The football is paling into insignificance a little bit here, after Russian forces stormed and bombed neighboring Ukraine, with instructions led by Russian President Vladimir Putin. Many are having to flee their homes and the country altogether. National teams playing Russia internationally have asked for postponement. Russian international Fedor Smolov has shown his support for Ukraine. Ukrainian captain Alexander Zinchenko had fierce words, understandably, for the Russian president. Meanwhile, Brazilian nationals who play for Shakhtar Donetsk and Dynamo Kiev are currently hiding in a hotel, asking the Brazilian government to get them home safely. Obviously, it's a horrible situation. It's one that we feel pretty helpless with, but we as people from the UK can help in the form of donations and not spreading misinformation as well. Make sure you check your sources anytime you see something on social media. Other than that, overall policy is in the hands of the higher ups. Jesus fucking Christ, we're all doomed. Now, we'll distract ourselves with the football if we can. It's been a very hectic week for Tottenham, as they blew the title race wide open with a dramatic 3-2 win over Man City. And it was former City target Harry Kane who scored a 94th minute winner. The scouts that paid £100 million for Keira Knightley instead have a lot to answer for.
I promise, like, and even it was...
If City don't win the league now, his agent is being given a restraining order from the Etihad. Harry Kane will not beat Tesco in within a 30-mile radius. Look, Harold, if you want that move, you better get ready to grovel. Pep, I'm sorry. On a serious level, I've been the first to slander Kane this season, but this was him back to his old self. Creativity, movement, he could have had a hat-trick without VAR, even with lorries, playing for Man City on the night. Even the Tinder swindler could not convince me this is an elite goalkeeper. The man falls apart when there's any simple decision to be made. But thankfully for him, Diaz and Laporte's connection was off on the other end. You know, when the Bluetooth isn't connected, it's making that sound. Like, they're gonna have to explain that problem to 49-year-old Fernandinho on the bench. He hasn't used the internet since 2002. AOL settings. His only form of communication is a landline phone. Pep Guardiola was in a frenzy on the touchline. Stephen, I cannot reiterate this enough. This is the greatest Pep to play an Eric Dyer at centre-back, bro. Tottenham's physio was active during this one. Probably had more touches than Romelu Lukaku this weekend. And now look, it's a chance for Tottenham to kick on again, re-stabilise their season and go for the top 4. They then lost 1-0 away to bottom of the league, relegation threatened Burnley after a second half Ben Mee winner.
I do like football, but not Burnley. Burnley can fuck off.
How do these lot even continue to do this? Aaron Lennon's basically a pundit already. He's 43 and he's still beating his old club. Obviously, there's been calls for people not to travel to Eastern Europe right now. The same goes for Burnley. There's no reason, it's just simply the fact that it's Burnley. Rodrigo Bentancur got sent back to an Italian hospital by Josh Brownhill. Meanwhile, Spurs manager Antonio Conte's outburst at full time took the headlines, questioning his own position as whether he's the right man to lead this team forward. First of all, the poor man looks like he's lost a scrap with a hedge here. What's his next interview even gonna be? Look, I've taken this club as far as I can. Antonio, you won the game. I'm not saying it's a sackable offence for me, but it's a sackable offence for me. It was 6-1 in your favour. Why are you packing your bag? Daniel, mate, come on. It's time for me to get out of here. He actually just wants to be sacked at this point. He can't take the stress. We can expect to see his assistant trying to get them both out of this shit show online.
He has to go, blood. He has to go.
And if I'm going to be honest, I don't really know what Antonio's doing here. I know he's trying to spur his team into action, but on about, oh, I'm used to winning. Mate, you took the Tottenham job. You should have known what you were in for. Though I can relate on the lack of trim. One thing Tottenham can't relate to, though, is European football. And over in the Champions League, United rescued a draw versus Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid before the game, and Diego seemed pretty fearful of the Red Devils.
Que en los últimos 14 partidos
One of the best teams in the world. I just want to clap. There are 2 teams in Manchester. I think you have the wrong one.
Go Manchester United.
Atleti players were probably getting PTSD flashbacks seeing Ronaldo from previous years.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
But thankfully for them, Ron must have thought they were playing Bilbao or something, because he did not turn up. I don't know whether he missed his train, he forgot his Oyster card, security didn't let him in. Would a Mrs. Sue please come to the front desk to collect a... What do you mean it's not a person? And it wasn't a much better afternoon for Marcus Rashford.
In that position, I just have to smash it.
Not again. I'm telling you right now, he went to Atletico's hotel after. Wallahi, bro, don't give him the ball. He's not playing for us. But it was youngster Anthony Elanga who saved the day for United despite being only 12. Trust me, he's a great prospect, and he's left a tie very much with all to play for. Chelsea's last 16 tie against Lille, however, seems a little bit more settled after a 2-0 victory for the Blues at Stamford Bridge.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to call the police. Excuse me, yep, sorry, I've seen Christian Pulisic do the griddy.
Right, okay, this is an emergency service.
Romelu Lukaku was dropped for this game after his 7-touch performance v Palace in the league. Him and Timo Werner can't have imagined being sat together in the under-23s back in August. Lille's number 22, Timothy Weah, had his 22nd birthday on the 22nd of the 2nd month, 2022, which to me is a sign simply that the world has to end. Despite the win, and Thomas Tuchel didn't always seem too pleased on the touchline. Fuck's sake, now I've got to eat it with grass on. And having managed to draw Lille twice in that shambles of a Champions League draw a few months ago, I'm looking forward to Chelsea somehow drawing them again in the quarters. Over at Benfica v Ajax, and Sebastian Haller loves scoring so much, he's put one into his own net. Meanwhile, Nicolas Otamendi looks like he's about to go for gold in the men's 50 metres butterfly. My goodness, he's doing the swimming. Meanwhile, at Juve v Villarreal, and the La Liga side were excited and confident about how their game was gonna go. Back in the Premier League though, and it's been a rough week for Leeds. Firstly losing 4-2 to United in the Roses derby. This was skewed in United's favour, however, since according to Sky, they had Nemanja Vidic back in action. Current centre-back Harry Maguire got a goal. Leeds, how have you managed? Come on, like, you actually have to go down now. He posted a picture of his celebration on Twitter and photoshopped his Leeds supporting mate into the pic. It's a shithousery award for the United captain. Leeds, however, did give Man United a scare with 2 quick-fire goals to draw level. Thankfully for United though, an Equatorial Guinean international, Fred, managed to save the day. This Leeds fan though was unfazed, with a sign asking Ronaldo to get Rafinha's shirt for him. He was probably a little bit more fazed though when Liverpool came to town and slapped them 6-0. There's more stable support in Marcelo Bielsa's knee ligaments than there is in that defence. The whole coaching team is just completely reckless. Now boss, have we tried attacking more? The main thing though for me is for Liverpool's second goal, amazing, adventurous run from Joel Matip saw him score.
Matip again.
What he's doing, I don't know if we will see another player do the things that he does.
It's kind of a gift.
For me, it motivates me to get even better and improve. And
I had tears in my eyes. It was Messi-esque. I think it's fair to say that the man who had the most influence on Ronaldinho as a child is Joel Matip. There was a more pressing issue, however, in the crowd, as after Anfield ran out of cutlery, nah, we can't be doing this. Look, it's actually a serious crime this time. It's good improvisation, all right? Credit where it's due, am I right? Meanwhile, there were mad scenes at Kell Brook's fight with Amir Khan, as Phil Foden and his mum appeared to end up in an altercation with men in the venue. Don't mess with the Bradford lot. Oh, gee, oh man, I'm petrified. You've got more criminal charges than GCSEs, lads. To be fair, as a collective, everyone involved managed to get more jabs in than Amir Khan did. So, you're fighting at a boxing event. You're basically on the undercard at that stage. But yeah, overall, disgusting stuff. Hopefully, the people that tried to attack Phil and his mum are found. Can't just be giving it large to footballers because you don't like the team that they play for. Newcastle drew with West Ham on the weekend, and fans brought inflatable cats with them. Meanwhile, Chris Wood took it a step further in going at Kurt Zouma, as apparently Craig Dawson had to complain at half-time because the New Zealander kept meowing at Kurt.
Meow!
It's a shithousery award for the former Burnley big boy. One fan met Declan Rice at the petrol station, got a picture with him, and then forgot to actually put fuel in his car. Meanwhile, Arsenal's Alexander Lacazette took a dig at Ivan Toney with this tweet style after a win over Brentford on the weekend. And scored a last gasp winner against Wolves yesterday. As you can see, he's delighted. Now though, let's move on to the weather.
The weather.
I can't lie, lads. It's a little bit windy. I'm Gale Force, bringing you the weather this week as Storm Eunice swept the nation, damaging the O2 Arena. Ironically, there's plenty of air getting in there now. I'm down on the ground now where there are shocking scenes in the local neighborhood. Objects, people, you name it, they're all getting lifted off the ground. There's even a cat flying through the air over there. No, this is Kurt Zuma's house. There was disruption in the football, however. ADO Den Haag Stadium over in the Netherlands was damaged, and Spurs' new stadium is physically moving. This is the shakiest I've seen them since approximately 2 days ago. In Germany, and Alphonso Davies is looking for his new soulmate on TikTok.
How old is my soulmate right now? How old is she?
Publication Bild are showing their backing for Ukraine by photoshopping Schalke's Russian sponsor off their shirt and replacing it with a message of support. Meanwhile, Marco Reus got 2 goals and 3 assists in Borussia Dortmund's demolition of Gladbach. Imagine how good this man would be if his thighs weren't made out of peanut butter. Javi Martinez was interviewed this week and it brought about some questionable answers.
¿Qué es la cosa más rara que hayas hecho en la cama? Algo que digas, vale, esto fue un poco raro.
Estaba con mi ex, con una ex que tuve, y de repente, espérate que tengo una cosa. Digo, guay, estaba, a ver qué trae. Un dildo así. Digo, ¿dónde vas con eso? Y yo pensando que era para ella. Y me dice, venga, hace la vuelta.
What the fuck is going on? We've got live scenes of Javi's reaction to her whipping that one out.
Look at the size of that fucker.
Over in Spain, and Vinicius Jr. wants Real to sign Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe so that they can daddy teams. Nah, for real, why are we doing this? What's gotten into everybody? Well, actually, I know the answer to that for Javi Martinez. Something did quite clearly go in. At Barcelona, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang says he wants to win La Liga and the Champions League at the club. I don't know about La Liga, but there's a UCL they're winning, and it's not the Champions League. They can't even afford to put the badge and kit supplier on Ferran Torres' shirt. Do you understand the overdraft you have to be in to be buying bootleg kits for your own club? And over at Mallorca...
Hombre, claro, un poquito. Estamos aquí todos. Mira, este es así muy bonito.
Tremendo, muy bien ahí, Y lo celebra.
Tienes que se tienen que poner la mascarilla, pero,
Hombre, después, claro, después se la... ¡Ojo!
¡Ojo!
Bueno,
¡Ojo!
Ojo al bar, ojo al bar.
Esteban here never did stop lip-syncing Wendy, Jessica, Margaret, an unknown woman with at least a husband and 6 kids. And speaking of family-oriented individuals, on to Neymar, who took perhaps one of the worst penalties ever in PSG's 3-1 loss to Nantes. Maurizio Pochettino's a fraud. How are you losing to Prince Andrew? Meanwhile, these French commentators had some harsh words for Lionel Messi on his 800th appearance. There was some international football this week, including New Zealand's women's side playing the US, where Michaela Moore managed to score a perfect hat-trick of own goals before being subbed off in the 40th minute. This may have never happened in the history of anything. You have to change her nationality on her passport. This is outrageous. Staying in women's national team action, and in the CONCACAF section, there's no such thing as a close game, it would seem. And in one serious slapping for Turks and Caicos, they lost 19-0, and this was one of the goals they conceded. This simply is match fixing. There's foolishness in the men's side though as well, or boys in this case. In the under-16 school tournament final, Senegal played DR Congo. This is Senegal's team. As you can see, they all look like children. And this is the Congolese team. 6 of these individuals were playing with their wives in the stands.
Get the fuck out my butt, you better! That's the kid! Go clean up the butt!
This is like kids at sports day versus a team of the dads at the sports day. Their man of the match has a mustache. He's not 15. It's been a big week for virgins, as over in Italy and a group of nuns were having a holy kickabout. I love nun-league football. Nah. Down in Serie C, and Monopoly managed to score one of the worst own goals you're gonna see.
Servizio incredibile, autogol.
Now though, it's time for your goals of the week, and there are 2 of them this time around. First of all, and we've got Italian brilliant Congolese winger Cedric Kalombo scoring an outrageous bicycle kick in Bulgaria on his debut. And just look at this from Ben Garucho for Western United in the A-League. A disgusting scorpion kick at the near post.
Oh, my word! That is extraordinary from Ben Garucho.
I know there's a lot of deadly animals in the country, but scorpions, that just takes the biscuit. Celtic lost to a small village from Lord of the Rings. Meanwhile, there's the news that Jack Wilshere has signed for Danish outfit Aarhus. I can't say I had a reference number as my go-to for his next move, but surely he's likely to light it up in training and in the league there. Hello all, and welcome to The Beautiful Game, the segment where we take a look at the poetic and brilliant side of the game that we love. We are back by popular demand for yet more glorious beauty.
Bueno, en el partido con Atlas, gracias a Dios lo pudo empatar, esperemos que ahora también.
Bueno, ¿hay una falta? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué cobró el árbitro?
And that concludes The Beautiful Game. Closer to home, and when asked about the funniest thing that he's heard on a football pitch in his career, Micah Richards had no hesitation.
You don't know where I'm from, dog.
What? And who was that for the record?
Dempsey said that to me when he was at Fulham. I tackled him and he pushed me. I said, don't push you. You don't know where I'm from, dog.
Is Clint Dempsey in NWA or something? A goalkeeper by the name of Mauro Iguata scored recently and hence won man of the match. He then gifted the award to the interviewer to give to her dad because he'd recently got over a bout of COVID. And I don't know what it is about man of the match awards in Brazil, but they really do provide some stories.
Daqui conseguro, daqui conseguro. Vai pro break, vai no gol!
Switzerland have discovered what pyrotechnics are, with Basel fans and St. Gallen fans providing all the fireworks you could imagine in the away end. In Poland, and Patrick Janazik scored an absolutely beautiful own goal in their top flight. But if you thought that was bad, this goal in Rwanda might be one of the worst I have ever seen.
A gift.
In Turkey, and if you can't get any good tickets to view the game inside the stadium, then why not get on top of a fuck-off forest for a vantage point? But if you thought those fans were dedicated, then check out this guy in Brazil who's had a Flamengo shirt fully tattooed on himself. Mauricio dos Anjos here had 90 hours worth of tattooing time to make this possible. Yet when I get a tattoo of something I'm passionate about, I get called a weirdo. Okay. Now though, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, because over in Romania, it's been a busy week over there once again. FCSB's owner, Gigi Bacali, has stopped his players from getting vaccinated because he reckons it's making them play worse. I doubt they'll be running the touchline on a ventilator either, but we move. But down in the second division, and in the first game back after a 2.5-month break, Politimajora and Petrol's game had to be suspended because all of the floodlights went out in the stadium. Now over in Argentina, and one fan's wishes when he passed away was that his ashes would be sprinkled everywhere in the stadium of the club that he supports. Now someone he know duly obliged, without realising that they were gonna land on people down below. It's alright, mistakes happen, we live and we learn. Over in Nepal, and we've got a goal coming directly from a corner, but it's not one of them accidental ones, it's actually a bit of a screamer low-key. Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting received an outrageous red card for barely touching an opponent this week. It's not a red, the defenders made a meal of it, but this is karma for his agent getting those crazy moves to PSG and Bayern for no reason. In Guatemala now, and there was madness over there because it's not very often that a live snake stops the play. I mean, unless Ryan Giggs goes down injured. In Indonesia, and after a referee gave a penalty for this goalkeeper coming and punching the ball away, the keeper got aggressive and was then sent off for his reaction, and the rest of his teammates decided to protest after the penalty went in by letting the opposition score easy goals. And elsewhere, if there's a ban on taking alcohol into the stadiums, you've really got to get a little bit creative with it. Now that it's time for Still 0-0, and you guys know the score by now, this is a segment of the show where I bring to you the best of Sunday League and amateur football. And this week we take a trip over to the Czech Republic, where it seems like it's been pretty windy and stormy there as well, because we've got a goalkeeper who's been attempting to take a goal kick for quite some time now. And then when he does,
This is football heritage.
It can't be a back pass if he is the one passing it to himself. On to the weird stuff though now. In Ecuador, and Deportivo Cuenca were forced to field a squad of 7 players this week due to a COVID outbreak at the club. They only lost the game 2-0. Who were they playing? 9-year-olds. Scottish side Queen of the South's full-time tweet was an eyebrow raiser. Full-time, Dick holds Willie in bottom versus top of the champ. What's going on? No, please, can we stop this? There's the story of former Bayern Munich striker Mario Basler, who's been named the head coach of a side down in the 8th tier of German football because he lost a bet during a squash match. And finally, ending on some good news, those who follow English football will have been aware of Bury and the devastating situation that happened there, of the club being dissolved, liquidated completely, and having to be reborn as a Phoenix side. Well, they've taken a step towards being the club that they used to be, as the fans group that owned the Phoenix club have now bought the stadium that the former club used to play at, which is great news. It's great to see Gig Lane back in the hands of Bury. That, though, is going to wrap up football this week, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then feel free to slap a like on the video, and of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is @officialfng on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.